Okay, week two, and had 3 really good days of practice. I think of practice, different for us, just as far as what our offense is seeing. The 3 down, dropping a lot of, playing a lot of 3 safety looks. You don't see a lot of it every day. You don't see it very often. Matter of fact, I think maybe the last time we saw it was 2021 at Georgia Tech. And I thought we attacked it really good. I think our kids did a good job. We've obviously gone back there to see what we do. It's just one of those things you get to watch and say, okay, what worked, what didn't, and get some more ideas, because that's what you'd like to get us some ideas. And there's not a lot to look at. You got one game of what they do, so it's good to have ideas there. And then as far as the other side of the ball, we got to stop the run. I think Sorbsy can beat you with his feet. I think he can beat you with his arms. So we got to be good, obviously, in the passing game, as well as trying to stop the run at the same time, which is not an easy thing to do. So we're looking forward to a trip down to Cincinnati, old stomping grounds down there, and it'll be a good time. Questions?
What kind of challenges does drop 8 coverage put on a quarterback with all the different guys they have to worry about?
Yeah, it's just another guy back there. They try to eat up gaps with the big guys up front. And occasionally bring 4 or 5, whatever. I'm sure they got more plans. If I was them, I might bring 6 or 7 based on how we just froze in the pocket last year and just held onto the ball. I'm sure we'll see stuff that we didn't see, maybe that they didn't show last week. That's why you go back and look and see what people liked against you in the past. When they do that stuff. So we'll take a peek, and but dropping the 8, to answer your question, Chris, dropping 8 is just like you got to be smart with the ball. There's an extra guy floating around back there. Just think of that way. But you got to be careful. We like to throw the ball, and you just got to be careful. Quarterbacks got to make good decisions.
How do you balance being careful with being too hesitant, as the quarterback, and making the right decisions?
I'll leave Coach Bell. I'll let him take care of that. But we got a plan, and we'll see how the plan works. But I feel really good with where we are right now. And just quarterbacks got to make good decisions, which is what Eli and Nate do. So I feel good with those guys making decisions and getting the ball out of their hand quick.
How is a fast offense impacted by crowd noise?
Not really. I mean, really doesn't matter. I mean, we do it all the time, and we got crowd noise out there. During practice every day. I mean, it's loud. It doesn't bother us at all. And we expect Nipper to be loud as well. So we practice loud. I don't know how loud it would be down on the field, but I would imagine we were louder out today than I'll be there. I don't remember being that loud, but I was in the press box back in the day.
You mentioned the other day about the time intervals when you were snapping the ball. What were the percentages of? I think you said on radio last time.
57% of the time, we snapped the ball before 22 seconds, so it's 22 seconds more faster.
On a play clock.
Yeah, there's still 22 seconds left on the play clock. So 57% of the time. Coach Bell gave me a stat the other day. Like I think Tennessee might have snapped 70%, but they don't do all the things we do. They're simplified. They're going to go fast, and they only do a few things. They're running vertical routes and running switch seams. But we're with all the motion that we do and the shifting. It's pretty fast. You having to react to all the movement.
And with more than 22 seconds left on the clock?
Say it again.
And do you have any times where it's more than 22 seconds left?
Yeah, 57% of the time. So the other,
43.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. You're good with math.
I thought maybe there was some other.
You came out of that 43 pretty darn quick. So 43% of the time was the other way. It was 23 or 24 or 25, whatever.
Do we need to put this on the whiteboard?
You said Eli and Nate make good decisions. I'm curious, are there still any scenarios where you would try to get Nate some games just because he's as new in this system as Eli is?
No question about it. I mean, you think about it, you see how the game's going, and you make that decision based on that, for sure. Again, I have a ton of respect and a ton of confidence in Nate Yarnell, and we won't hesitate.
But that's not pre-planned though, right? And they're playing
Pre-planned last week.
Eli play.
Yeah.
Until he's not playing.
Yes.
Right.
Playing going in right now.
You talked about Dante earlier this week, Corleone, since he was obviously cleared after we spoke. Given the amount of time he's been out and everything, do you still think that he's talented enough to have an impact on Saturday, given that if he does play, given the time he's missed?
You know what? Yes and no. I don't know. I mean, football shape and running on the sideline. I know when our guys are in the pit and all of a sudden they come back and play the game, it's different. So I think that's something I know they, I know a lot of their doctors there. I know the Cincinnati doctors and old team doctors there. Dr. Colosimo is one of my old guys. I haven't talked to him in a while, obviously, but I just know that the medical care they have there, they're going to take care of that guy. I mean, you think about clots and blood thinners. I don't know anything about all that. That's something you can ask them about. But we expect him to play. How effective he's going to be? I mean, he's a player. I mean, if he goes in there for 3 plays, he's in there for 3 plays and comes out and needs a break. I don't know, but he. It's hard to get in football shape in a week. I can tell you that. You see that anywhere. I mean, it's hard to if you haven't done 11 on 11 and gone to So I'm sure they'll protect him.
You mentioned at the beginning of the week talking with the coaching staff about Dez and his usage and doing special teams and offense. Do you expect him to do everything that he did in week 1 and week 2?
Yes, sir. No doubt about it. They'll be. Dez is a guy. He can go. He's got a motor, and he'll be ready to go.
What are your thoughts on the offensive line's performance against Kent State and how they look in Cincinnati?
They've had a good week, and we were happy. I think probably the one thing Coach Darvaux whined about it. He didn't think they were in good enough shape in the 4th quarter. Third quarter he wants them going even faster. So he's practiced that this week, and he's gotten them running down the field and running gassers. So he that's a typical offensive line thing. He wants them to be the first quarter to look like the 3rd quarter, 4th quarter.
How important is this game in terms of confidence, especially for the offense, knowing that it could be successful against a Power 4 team?
Yeah, it will be successful against a Power 4 team. I don't have any questions, but it's important you got to execute, right? As we say, you just don't go out there and think that you're just gonna, hey, we're good, we'll be okay. No, you got to work at it. And I like the way our guys worked this week. It's not like they weren't locked in and thinking, oh, we're good already. I think they've got talent. You got to go out and make plays. You got to catch the ball. You got to deliver the ball. You got to run the football. You got to block. It's just going out and executing. It's a game of execution. It's attention to detail, and if you take care of the little things, the big things will take care of yourself.
How's the energy been around this group, given what happened last year in this game?
I think it's been great. Matter of fact, I had a leadership meeting in here this morning. Just said, I said, how's the team? Just I always, picking their brain. I'm telling them as much as they're telling me, but they're like, oh yeah, they're shaking their heads like, it's just different. I don't know why. I don't know. I mean, it's beyond me. But they didn't know last year, so our guys know the difference between this year and last year.
What does Cincinnati do with their run game to make it difficult to stop them? Last year they really got after it. You guys, it seemed like that's something they'll try to do again.
I don't know. I don't remember what the time possession was last year, but I think Satterfield does a great job of motions, shifts. They're going to get into 2 back sets, and they always find some little way of doing something you haven't seen. So the great thing is we got these iPads this year. So as soon as they do something, whether it's the motion or you see something with the tight end alignment, you can at least adjust it even more. And I think we're the best at adjusting stuff regardless of the video. But now when the kids can actually see what we're talking about, you hope they're listening and understanding what we're talking about. But the iPads will help you a lot when you see some of the stuff that they're seeing. But they do. I mean, I think they do a great job to run, as good as anybody in the country. There's a reason they're top 5 rush offense in the country last year. Is they do a good job schematically of trying to put you in a bind, and again, we've got a three-year breakdown on them. So we've dissected everything from Louisville to Cincinnati with all the years we've played that offense, so it'll be interesting to see what's up his sleeve this year. But I like the iPad, to be able to see stuff.
Tim Dallas was talking to us, and he talked about how he was excited to see his guys out there with their improved stamina late in the games and the advantage that he thinks that you guys will have. How much of you guys, as the coaching staff, playing around like, okay, changing up maybe how you might use your rotations or call certain things because you're expecting a better, a more endurance team?
Yeah, I mean, you're always, those are all the strategies of the game. You're looking at, personnel in the field. What do they do well? What do they not do well? And what, and we hope we try to keep them fresh. I think we got enough guys up front that we can keep that front 4 fresh.
I don't think we asked you on Monday, but what went into PJ starting playing those first couple drives ahead of Donovan on Saturday?
Just coach's decision. I mean, we sit in here just before you guys came in here today, just talking about how to play the players and who had the best week of practice and all those. So we'll see what happens this week.
The game has changed so much. Do you ever think you'd be the coach of a team that throws 48 times in a game?
Yeah, I mean, I bet you is that how many times we threw last week? We've thrown 48 times before. I know it's changed a lot, Jerry, in our years, but you know, I'm sure Kenny threw it 48 times. I mean,
No, that's Kenny.
yeah, but yeah, you're right. Maybe with a fresh, redshirt freshman quarterback, and,
Right.
and you know, you do what you do what you do well, and take what they're giving you. So that's the name of the game.
Are you comfortable putting the ball up in the air that many times?
No question, no doubt. I like that. I like to score points, and I like to move the sticks. If you're moving the sticks, you got a chance.
You've been on both sides of this rivalry. Would this be the last game for the foreseeable future between both teams? Would you like to see this back in the schedule in the future?
I would like to see it. I mean, I don't know, River City rivalry. Are we still playing for that trophy? Is that trophy still out there? That's an
They
ugly.
retired.
That was an ugly trophy. Whoever made that up. I think on campus. Paul Klazak?
Yes.
I was going to say, you guys know Paul Klazak up on campus here. Paul was our assistant AD, with Bob Goen was our AD, who's God bless Bob Goen. He was the best. Loved him as the athletic director. It's a rivalry game. I'd like to see it played again. I mean, it's not far away. It's close. It's a heck of a game, and there's something to it.
I know it's just
Can't play everybody though.
I know it's just one game, but Eli Holstein had impressive numbers in addition to his regular numbers, but also throwing beyond the sticks. 12 of 17, 187 yards. All three of his touchdowns were beyond the sticks. What have you seen from him, or what have you that allows you guys as the coach staff to say, hey, we can expand kind of our range of where we want to target versus intermediate to long to short passing?
Yeah, I mean, Coach Bell, is going to figure that out, like what he does well. But we want to attack all parts of the field. I mean, if you're just throwing it underneath, you're going to struggle. If you're just throwing it, deep all the time, you're going to struggle. You got to attack different parts of the field. You can't just throw to the right. You got to throw to the left. You can't throw to the, I mean, defensively, we dissect everything that, wherever they're throwing the ball. Is it, deep weak, deep strong, whatever it may be. I mean, and we want to be able, spread the ball out to different guys in different parts of the field, and we have faith in our quarterbacks to throw it wherever we designed it to go.
How does the technology help with planning stuff like that as well, with the iPads, as far as seeing like, hey, they're doing this, let's get this part of the field in?
Yeah, it can help a lot. And it can help a lot when you're going fast and people are stuck maybe playing some vanilla stuff, which I don't know if that'll happen or not. But a lot of teams versus a fast tempo are going to play one defense. That's the thing that we don't do. I mean, if someone's going fast against us, we're not going to let you dictate to us. We're going to come get you. We're going to blitz you. We're going to bring 6, which I'd say 99% of the country will not do that because they're afraid someone will mess up. We practice it. Ours is simple enough to do it that way.
Did you blitz more than you would typically like to, less than you would typically like to, or about average on Saturday?
Last week?
Yeah.
It's a good question, Chris. You watch it. I think 41% of the time we brought 6 guys last week. That's almost half. I would say through the years I'm somewhere, we're somewhere, I was somewhere at Michigan State, somewhere between 31 and 33%, not on purpose. It just seemed to be where it ended up being. I mean, almost always in the 31 to 33. So, but it all depends on how the game's going. If we're getting hits, you're gonna bring it more. If you're not, maybe it depends on how it's going.
If you're 31 to 33 most of the time in your career, then all of a sudden you're 41. Does that put a little bit of doubt in the other team's head?
I don't know. I mean, I'm sure they're working on the pressures this week for sure. So, but I think there's not a gigantic. If you're getting, 1 out of 3 plays is a pressure, they're working on it anyway. So what's another 10%? I don't know if it really matters. They got to prepare for it, and they see a lot. I mean, if they're playing against their defense, they're seeing a lot of drop 8. So that'll be something that they have to work a lot on.
Does that reflect your confidence in the defensive line getting pressure? Like if that percentage, you're up to almost 50%, like you said, rushing 6. Does that, like I said, does that reflect on what how the D-line is doing?
No, that just reflects what we like to do. I mean, that's what we do. I mean, we're different than a lot of people. I think it's what makes us unique. We're going to come after you, and a lot of people can't do what we do. We're different.
David, Randy likes to be aggressive.
Yes.
And do you have to rein him in?
Not really. I mean, I like to be aggressive too, so we're kind of on the same page. So, but I did well during the game. I'm like, holy cow, Bates, you slow down, bro. So, but he was going. I mean, he called like 3 blitzes in a row at one point. I'm like, but you know, it's good. I mean, you don't want to be a guy blitzes once and done blitz again. You know, you can blitz twice in a row. You can blitz 3 times. You can blitz 4 times in a row. Again, if it's again, the way we blitz, to me, it's safe and easy. So
there's an art to play calling, in defense and offense.
Oh yeah.
There's a benefit to showing all that too, though, right? Because then that's more that the next team has to prepare for.
Yeah, I mean, they got to, they're preparing for a lot of, blitz, and then maybe they get a lot of base. I think Sorsby does a good job versus pressure. I think, I think coverage is good against him. Tight coverages are good, and try to make him put it in a tight window, which I think he's talented enough to do. We're gonna find out.
Brandon was talking last week or on Saturday about K Bell's energy on the sideline. Is he fired up?
So Brandon George was talking about it?
Yeah.
He better be on the damn bench paying attention to the adjustments.
He
He's
did
supposed to be
say
looking at his
that in
iPad.
defense as well, but he said K brings kind of an excited energy to the bench.
Yeah, I don't notice it because I'm kind of locked on what I got to do. But I think he brings energy in practice every day. I think he brings energy. I think maybe Brandon's hearing from the offensive guys when they're out, eating dinner at night. But I don't know what he's hearing. But he brings energy. I mean, energy is good. You better have energy as coaches. I always say, the energy rubs off. If coaches don't have energy, the players have no energy. If the coaches have energy, then the players will, they'll soak that up.
So is that a benefit to kind of have him on the sideline to kind of get?
No doubt. I like a coordinator on the sideline a lot. Again, I used to be up in the box, and then I came down in the fourth quarter. So there was a reason, in that fourth quarter, you try to come down and bring more energy. But I like being up there to call it.
You recruited a lot in Ohio. Does that help you when you look at the Cincinnati starting lineup? Like, I know that guy.
It does. I mean, that's the negative of playing Cal or going to wherever when you don't know who these guys are. But no, it helps a lot when you know the people and you know what you liked about it. And you know some strengths and weaknesses already from the high school days, and then you look for that stuff when you watch them. No question.
See stuff on social media sometimes, and gotta ask about it. Is Anthony Johnson out for the season?
Anthony Johnson is not out for the season. No.
Is anybody?
Jerry, we would have told you if they were.
I know. I just thought I'd ask.
We would tell you. So we'll tell you.
I trust you.
But no, we're okay.
What a great place to end. Thank you.